Ricketts. I'm the founder of Rocket Wealth Management. We create financial plans for people so they can retire before retirement age. I really found myself in the situation where I wanted to know what to do financially and there wasn't a whole lot out there. So we really wanted to go, and I put myself in the client's shoes and really created a process and a system and then a company around serving people that were around my age so they can have choices in life. I just really don't want people to be feel like they have to be a slave to their job until they're 65, well it's now at 67, the retirement age, before they can actually enjoy their life. We put together a financial plan for somebody. They can go from where they are now to having the option to retire, because it's not about necessarily retiring, but making work a choice within around somewhere between 10 and 14 years. I really want people to be living a life out of choice rather than being out of force, like having this situation where someone's working a job they don't like, but they don't want to quit because they have to pay the mortgage. So I really want to empower people that they can now live on their terms. If they want to work, great. If they want to find more empowering work, great. They're not just working for the money. You really find the best results that people, when they come in from their mid-20s up until they're around their mid-40s. The reason for that is that if we're going to be working on a plan, it takes time to execute that plan. The younger they can come in, the sooner we can get those results. They come in thinking, am I where I'm meant to be? Do I earn enough? I don't have that much money in the bank, and we've seen it all before. And we actually have a dedicated process to take you through around that, where you'll get some education, some clarity, and we find out what's actually important to you, because the financial plan needs to be really based around your goals and your values. And by the end of that, you'll have so much clarity around it that a lot of those feelings won't be with you anymore. A lot of people will base their decisions on what they think they should do or what's best, and those things don't really exist, because unless you're aligning them to your goal, it's a step left or a step right. Like, we need to be going in the right direction. We call the business Rocket Wealth Management because the idea of launching a rocket was really a metaphor for people getting started on their financial journey. It requires a lot of preparation, a lot of time to get things right. And then at the start, things can feel like they're moving slow. So if you think about a rocket launching, it takes off and it's really slow. But then once it starts going and it gets into space, it's actually really efficient and it moves really fast. One of the things we put a lot of time into was trying to make finance, because it's a very complex area, can be very confusing. And I think part of it is actually designed to be that way. Like, so the average person feels like they can't actually understand that. So we spent a lot of time breaking that down into simple concepts so everyone can understand their plan, and then they feel excited and empowered about that because it actually makes sense to them. Reading books, getting knowledge is always a great place to start. To get some general knowledge, some general understanding, some foundations, maybe even start building some good habits as well. What you'll find though is that those books will only take you to a certain level, and from there then you can feel like you don't really have the confidence to know exactly what you should be doing, because the books are general in nature, where what we give is actually personal advice specific to your situation, so it'll take you to the next level and beyond. The most common problem people come to us with is they just don't know what they're trying to achieve. So they're saying things like, oh, I want to buy an investment property, or I want to buy some shares or an exchange traded fund, or should I use this bank or whatever. And the real question is like, why are we doing all of those things? So a lot of it is just confusion around what they're actually trying to achieve. So they're trying to figure out how they're going to do something before they know what they're going to do. And like, as we've said before, like, we go through a process around that so they can actually get clarity on what they're trying to achieve. Then we work back on where they should be putting their money, how they should be using it, how they should be investing it, etc., etc. When people come to us, they usually have questions around, if I do this, what are the tax implications? Or should I buy this in my name? Or should I set up some kind of structure? Or how do I do all of this? And the great part of that is, like, when we write a financial plan, it's holistic in nature. So it takes into consideration your objectives, but then also, yeah, how should you own it? What are the consequences of having it in different structures? And then we'll give a recommendation on which one is going to be best for you in order to reach the goals. So once we create a plan for you, we actually then take all the recommendations and we actually implement the whole thing for you. So we'll set the whole thing up from start to finish. We know people are busy, and once they walk out of that meeting, they probably don't want to go and set up things around their finances. Life gets in the way. So we'll set them all up. Once they're set up, we'll actually take you through all of it so you can now get a really good understanding, because you've seen the theory, the plan. Now it's all set up and it's there. We'll take you through it so you really understand it, and then we'll work with you along the way to make sure you're still on track, make any changes if they're needed. One client that came to mind is someone who works, and she's at a high level in a corporate company, earning a lot of money, and she's just saving her money and putting it in the bank account. We then went through our whole process and showed that, and she was only in her 30s, that within basically 10 years that she's going to be able to be retired, earning the same amount of money that she earns now, and by setting it up in a certain structure, she's actually going to get all of that money tax-free. So, and from her, she's a raving fan of ours, always talks about it, left an amazing Google review. That's a great example of a client that's come in doing well already, and we've just really accelerated them on their journey. Yeah, reach out to us. You can either do an email or website, or give us a call. From there, we'll take you through a bit of a quick questionnaire. It takes about 10 minutes just to see if we actually feel like we're a good fit to help you. From there, we'll move forward to the first meeting. That's a discovery session. We cover the cost of that first one because we really want to establish that we can add value to you before any costs come into it. So reach out to us. We'll establish if we can help you, and if we can add value, then we'll move forward from there. We're really passionate about helping people retire early, giving them the choices that they want in life, and hopefully you'll be the next success story.